question 328, odd even linked list from LeetCode. Let's jump to the question. The question is saying, giving the head of a singly linked list. So we have a singly linked list. Group all the nodes with odd indices together, followed by the nodes with even indices, and return the reordered list. First node is considered odd and the second node is considered even, and so on. And what is asking us here to do it in constant space complexity and linear time complexity. So we should do it in place. Let's see these examples. So based on the question, this is going to be the first node is the index of the first node is going to be 1, the second index is going to be 2, and the third, and so on, right? And so it doesn't start from 0. The first index is going to be 1. And what we're going to return is we're going to get the odd indices and group them together and follow, as you see, we group them together, followed by even indices. Let's go to the next example. In the next example, as you see, all we care about is the indices. We don't care about the value that we have in these nodes. All we care about is about indices. So we're gonna return the linked list starting with odd indices first and then even indices. What you need to remember here is, like, we don't care about the values in these nodes. All we care about is their indices. So I liked the solution by Geometry, and he explained it really well, but I will try to explain it here with visualization. Okay, so for solving this problem, what we are going to do, we are going to use 3 pointers. One pointer for pointing to odd index, and one pointer for pointing to even index, and one pointer for saving the first node of the with even index. So the even head is just a variable that we are going to store the first even index in it, right? So that's what we are going to do with this here. So as you see here, we are going to save the in the odd variable, we are going to save the head, the first one, which is going to be index 1, and we are going to save the one beside this, which is going to be index 2, and it's an even index in even and even head variable. So we're going to store it here. So the condition that we are going to use here for our while loop is we are considering, as long as we have a node with even index and there is a node after that, there is a next node after the even index, we keep iterating over the linked list, right? And what we are going to do, what we are going to do is we are going to iterate over this linked list, find the odd indices and point them to each other, right? And at the same time, we find even indices and we point them to each other, right? And at the end, we are going to point the final node with odd index to the first node with even index, right? So this is how we are going to do it, and let's go through this solution with visualization to make a better understanding. So as I mentioned, the first pointer, which is the odd pointer, is going to point to index 1, and the second pointer, which is even pointer, is going to point at index 2. Also, we are going to use even head as a pointer to pointing to the first index with the first even index, right? So we are going to check if the odd index and we are going to check if there is even and there is a node and there is a node after that, and if there is, we are going to point the odd index to the next index after two index after the odd one, right? To point at the index 3, right? And then the pointer from here is going to move to here, right? And what we are going to do after, we are going to check and update this pointer and the next one. This is going to point at not this one, the one after that, right? After every single odd there is even, and this one is going to point at the next node with even index, right? And we are, as I mentioned, we are going to iterate over this until there is a node with even index and there is node after that, right? So we are going to iterate again. We're gonna point this one to the not this one, the one after that, and we are going to point the even to index number 5, right? As you see here, right? And we keep iterating until we get to the point that the even index is pointing to none, because after this is none, right? So this is going to point at none here, right? And we're going to remove this. We're going to point even to none, right? Even is going to point to none, and we are going to check the condition again. Okay, is there any node in the even? No, there is not. It's none, and there is nothing after that. So we are done with our while loop, and what we are going to do here is the next step. That what we are going to do, we are going to point this one at the even head that we had from the beginning. That's why we stored it here, right? And we're gonna put point the odd index to the even head that we stored it at the beginning, and we are going to return the reordered linked list. We did this in linear time complexity, as you see here. We did it with just one iteration, and we also didn't use any extra space other than just storing these nodes in these variables. Thank you.